Mr. Al-Mahdi, the chamber will hear your statement.
شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you, Your Honor.
سيادة الرئيس،
Mr. President,
أعضاء المحكمة الموقرة،
distinguished members of chamber,
السيدات والسادة الحضور،
ladies and gentlemen,
أحييكم جميعا.
I greet you all.
بداية أذكر نفسي بقول الله تبارك
I would like
وتعالى:
to start by
يا
reminding myself of the words of the Almighty.
قوامين
O
بالقسط
ye who believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah, even as against yourselves or your parents or your next of kin. The words of the Almighty. I would like to remember the words of those who said that we need to speak justice even against ourselves. We have to be true to ourselves, even that truthfulness would burn our hands. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with deep regret and with great pain I had to enter a guilty plea, and all the charges brought against me are accurate and correct. I am really sorry, I am really remorseful, and I regret all the damage that my actions have caused. I regret what I had caused to my family, my community in Timbuktu, what I had caused my home nation Mali, and I am really remorseful about what I had caused the international community as a whole. My regret is directly, or is directed particularly to the generations, the ancestors of the holders of the mausoleums that I have destroyed. I would like to seek their pardon. I would like to seek the pardon of the whole people of Timbuktu. I would like to make them a solemn promise that this was the first and the last wrongful act I will ever commit. I seek their forgiveness, and I would like them to look at me as a son that has lost his way and consider me part of the social fabric of Timbuktu, and must not forget what I had contributed in the past to Timbuktu. It is my hope that, in accordance with the noble Islamic principles, to be able to forgive me and to accept my regret. I think if they were to do this, then they would have fulfilled the words of God, where in the Quran, where we say, those who forgive, then they will be rewarded by the Almighty. If I was influenced by a group of deviant people from Al-Qaeda and Ansar ad-Din, and if they were able to influence me, to carry me in their evil wave through actions that affected the whole population. But even with these temporary actions, I do not think that we will be able to change the heritage of the city of Timbuktu. Ladies and gentlemen, in this chamber, I am willing to accept the judgment of the chamber, but I will do so with pain and with a broken heart. I will be deprived of my freedom, and I know I will not be able to see the loved ones. However,
في أن يفتح
I
باب
am
العقاب
pinning my hope on the fact
بالتسامح مع
that
شعب
the
تنبك
punishment that will be meted out to me will be sufficient enough for the
ومع
people of
الشعب
Timbuktu
المالي
to
عامة
show forgiveness,
ومع
and for the
الإنسان
people of
والكل.
Mali to forgiveness, and
وأرجو
mankind
أن
to
تكون
offer
هذه
forgiveness.
السنوات التي أقضيها في غياهب السجن
It is also my hope
ومعاناته
that the years I will spend
بمثابة النار
in prison
المطهرة
will be a source of purging the evil spirits
إلى
that
أن
had
أكون
overtaken
واثقا
me,
بأن
and
أحظى بالعفو
I
من
will
القلوب التي
keep my
تسمح
hopes high that the people that I have hurt will be able to forgive.
أريد أن أسدي
In conclusion, I would like
لكل المسلمين في العالم
to
ألا يقدموا على مثل هذه
give a piece of
الأعمال
advice to all Muslims in the
التي
world
يشتد ضررها
not to get
ويضعف
involved in the same acts I got involved in, because they are not going to lead to any good for humanity.
جزيل الشكر
In
لجميع
conclusion,
الشركاء
I would like to thank
في محكمة
all
الجنايات الدولية
parties at the
سواء في ذلك القضاة
ICC,
ومكتب
judges,
الادعاء وقلب
OTP,
المحكمة وعناصر مركز
registry,
الاحتجاج
and staff
على
of the
تعاملهم معي
detention
وفق
center
المبادئ الراقية
for dealing with me
ومعايير
in such a
الاحترام
civilized and
والحفظ لحقوقي
respectable way, where human rights were
إن
upheld
ذلك
to the
كل
maximum.
في التحقيق بعد
And I
كما
applaud
أشكر بشكل
the way
خاص
they
فريق الدفاع
interviewed me and
وبالأخص
listened to
الأستاذ
my statement.
المحامي
And
محمد العويني
in particular, I would like
الذي
to
قرر
thank
أن
Matter
يساندني
Mohammed
في
Al-Awaini, who
الحلقة
decided
النهائية
to
وشكرا.
defend me in this case all the way. Thank you.
Thank you too. The court will now proceed to ask you some questions, Mr. Al-Mahdi, pursuant to the Rome Statute. Mr. Al-Mahdi, can you please rise again?
نعم سيدي.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now that you have made an admission of guilt, this chamber will proceed to ask you some questions. Mr. Al-Mahdi, the chamber would like to know if this admission is made voluntarily. Do you make this admission of guilt voluntarily of your own free will without being threatened or forced by anyone?
بالتأكيد سيادة الرئيس إن هذا
Your
الاعتراف
Honor,
طوعي
absolutely,
ونابع من
this is a
قلبي.
voluntary admission from the bottom of my heart.
Do you remember signing an agreement with the prosecution regarding an admission of guilt, complete with the supporting factual basis, on February 18, 2016? And was this agreement presented to you in a language you fully understand and speak?
نعم.
Your Honor, yes, it was presented to me in Arabic.
Did you fully consult your counsel before signing the agreement and making your admission in court today?
نعم تشاورت معه وقدم لي
Yes, I have consulted the counsels and they presented all the legal advice to me.
Thank you. Do you understand that the chamber is not bound by the terms of the agreement that you signed, and that the chamber is not required to accept your admission of guilt made here today?
نعم أفهم ذلك وهو
Yes, I do understand that, and it is also mentioned in the text of the document which was presented to me.
By making the admission of guilt and signing the agreement, you have waived many of the rights you would otherwise have as an accused. Do you confirm that waiver?
Yes, Your Honor, I confirm this, and I confirm what I have signed in this agreement.
We now proceed to the questions on the sentencing range. Mr. Al-Mahdi, you understand that the chamber is not bound by the 9-year to 11-year sentencing range you have agreed to with the prosecution.
نعم أعلم ذلك.
Yes, I do know that.
Thank you. And you understand that the crime you are admitting guilt to can carry a maximum term of 30 years.
نعم فهمت ذلك عن طريق الوثيقة
Yes,
التي
I have
قدمت إلي.
understood that in the document which was presented to
Yes.
me.